Let's move on to key values in business. One thing you need to know about doing business in Vietnam is business relationship in Vietnam inevitably becomes a social relationship after a while. Any foreigners who have lived and worked in Vietnam for a long time will tell businessmen to invest in relationships, build trust, and mutual respect. Having good relationships will accelerate the outcome of negotiations that take place faster and more smoothly, and subsequent collaborations will also be based on the existing relationship first. Let's explore the very interesting and important norms when doing business in Vietnam. We are going through custom, attitudes toward time, sign language, and customary. Firstly, in Vietnamese business culture, suits and ties in subdued colors are the norm. Bright color of any kind is not appropriate. Women must take care that their skirts are not above the knees. Good quality jewelry that is neither ostentatious nor overly expensive is recommended for making the right impression. Whenever you meet a Vietnamese friend or potential business partner, start with slightly smiling for a sign of goodwill. Traditionally, the Vietnamese used to greet each other by putting their hands together and bowing slightly. Small talk will be held between the two parties. This makes sense before discussing. When small talk, you need to introduce the company and need to turn your eyes to the boss of Vietnam. Remember to shake hands and give a slight bow both when saying hello and goodbye. Starting from the oldest person first. Handshakes only usually take place between members of the same sex. While shaking hands with Vietnamese women, you usually wait for them to offer their hands first, especially when you are a non-Vietnamese man. If they do not initiate the gesture, you can just bow slightly to them to show your respect. When foreign partners come to Vietnam to work, it will be more impressive when business cards are printed on both sides. One side is printed in the partner's language. The other side is printed in Vietnamese. It is necessary to show the Vietnamese boss with both hands first to show the courtesy, then give to the rest of the room. Do not ignore or put it in your pocket right away, but rather read the information on the business card of a Vietnamese partner. This will show respect and know how important the person you are talking to. Gift giving is important in Vietnamese because of the significance of interpersonal relationships in Vietnamese culture. Gift-giving customs depends on the context. If it is private gift for one Vietnamese partner, you should give the gift at private occasion or at a business meeting if no other one presents. If you have gift for the whole office or company, you should give it after the business meeting with the whole office's employee. The gifts are expected to be small items, not necessarily expensive, in the form of alcohol, tea, fruits or flowers. You should avoid sharp objects such as scissors or knives which symbolize the cutting of the relationship. Do not wrap a gift in black paper because this color is unlucky and associated with funerals. Vietnam. Giving face is a very important concept in Vietnam. You must give the appropriate respect according to rank and seniority. For example, if you are buying gifts for an initial contact, make sure you buy better gifts for the senior managers instead of buying similar gifts across the board. The highest ranked person will also be greeted first in any business environment and most likely introduced to a person with the highest rank in the company first. In addition to that, do not forget to address the other party by his or her designations such as director, chairman, manager. Just like many business cultures across the world, the Vietnamese is always punctual for their meetings and expect you to do the same. Do not be late and always make appointments for meetings. Arriving late or being unprepared for a scheduled meeting is seen as disrespectful. According to a study of Hofstede, Vietnam scores 57, making it a pragmatic culture. In societies with a pragmatic orientation, people believe the truth depends very much on situation, context and time. Even when feeling affectionate, avoid hugging or kissing someone in public. You rarely see this in the streets of Vietnam. In addition to slightly romantic gestures, avoid touching others' shoulder or their head, considered as the symbolic highest point in Asia. Books about etiquette refer to as much as touching a person of the opposite sex being impolite. Summoning someone with a curled index finger, as is done in the West, is only done by the boss. To beckon someone, extend your arm, palm down, and move your fingers in a scratching motion. Only beckon someone who is a lower status than you. When doing business with Vietnamese partners, the custom of inviting restaurants is almost mandatory. When dining in Vietnam with your business stakeholders, the dining etiquette plays an important role. Drinking beer, Wines or other liquor during the meal is common as they are served at the same time. While exchanging toasts with a host, it is more appropriate for the host to give the toast first.